Hello. So I thought of something fun to do today. This right here is Breaking Bad as emojis. It's apparently the entire story of Breaking Bad told in emojis. Now, I have never watched Breaking Bad. I know the basic concept, but beyond that, I have no idea. So what we're going to do is I'm going to try to retell the story of Breaking Bad through emojis without ever having watched it. So let's zoom in. All right. So we start here. We have a teacher, maybe a professor. He is having some bacon and a birthday cake. So maybe it's his birthday. Maybe he's having bacon on his birthday. That's pretty awesome. So we're off to a good start. But then, oh no, ambulance. Oh no. I guess he's going to the hospital. There's a lot of screaming, probably people freaking out. Oh no, we're going to the hospital. What's happening? We got lungs. Maybe he has lung cancer. I don't know. Then there's a woman. Maybe that's his wife. I assume it's his wife. And then after that, money. Maybe they're making money. Maybe they owe money. I don't know. I'll go with they owe money, because isn't that the whole plot? Like, they have to make money by selling meth or something. So, all right, here comes the science. It's science time. So we have the science trifecta. We have test tubes. We have microscopes. And we have, like, flasks of stuff. So we're cooking. We're cooking in the desert. I'm pretty sure that's what this is. We're cooking in the desert. We're making some meth. So, it's a fun time. So we have gems. I don't know if this represents money again, or maybe it's the crystals that the meth creates, or maybe he decided to play Sonic 3 and Knuckles and go after the Super Emeralds. I think that's a very plausible thing. I mean, if you're high on meth, I don't know, it's probably fun to play Sonic on meth. Don't take any of this as advice. I do not recommend meth. Just for the record. So anyway, we got a third gem. So I wonder if we'll eventually get all the Chaos Emeralds, because we have 3, then we have 2 more down here. We'll have to keep our tabs on that. So I'll make a note that as of this moment, we have 3 Chaos Emeralds. All right, so it's really sunny, and there's cactuses, because we're in the desert. So we're setting the scene. But then, oh no, gunfire. I assume that's supposed to be a gun, because, they're kind of cowards at these big tech companies and don't have the balls to put an actual gun in their emoji set. So this is what we got. We got it's a gun. So someone's shooting somebody out in the desert. I presume whoever is shooting is wearing a suit. So we have gunman, businessman massacre going on. And I believe that's a fire truck. So I assume that something got set on fire. But then comes the money. Oh boy. Money time. I'm not sure how the suit led to the money and the fire truck. So maybe he shoots the guy in the suit, drives away with the fire truck, and collects his money. There we go. He collects his money by doing all that. And then he's really tired, so he goes into sleep. But I think there's actually like a person in there, and this is clearly supposed to be, some boning going on, yeah. So we have sexy times, and then there's there's money, but it's not like the dollar bills from before. It's like just a coin. So maybe he's with a hooker and he's paying her and he's cheap, or, it's supposed to represent that she's not that expensive or something. And, probably like generally after sex, having a bath is good. So we're having good hygiene. It's probably a good thing to have in the show. Scrub-a-dub-dub. We're just scrubbing along, having a good time, when suddenly, bucket, lotion, toilet paper. This could mean that we're in Silence of the Lambs suddenly, and there's someone in the basement. Maybe he put the hooker in the basement. I mean, it's possible. Or else there's a little bit of, what shall we say? A little bit of dancing with myself going on. So either way, regardless, I think both activities are best followed by a sandwich. So that we're off to a good start. He gets a sandwich, he eats a sandwich, and he's like, you know what? I'm still hungry. I mean, he boned, took a bath, and then wanked it. So, yeah, you would need 2 sandwiches after that, and wash it down with some beer. All right, so he's having a good day. I think we're having a good time here. So then there's a lock. I assume he's trying to get into something that's locked, or maybe he's locked out, or something like that. So he has to go on a road trip, maybe to find a locksmith, because, New Mexico is kind of sparsely populated, and people live far apart, so if you're locked out, you probably have to go a good distance to get a locksmith. So we have money in sack form now, so he has to bring money to the nerd in order for an explosion. Maybe he has to explode the lock. I know things work a little bit differently out west. They don't exactly have the same social norms that we do. So maybe that's just how they open locks out there. If you lose the key, they just blow up the lock. I mean, here we would probably use bolt cutters, but maybe out west they use explosives. I don't know. The west is very mysterious. I just don't know much about it. So we've blown up the lock, and we found a turtle. Maybe... Now, here's some drama. What if his turtle was locked up and he had to rescue his turtle, so he went on the road trip to give money to the nerd to blow up the lock to save his turtle? What a guy. What a guy. So he celebrates the turtle victory by cooking more meth, because I know that's what the show's about. And we get the 4th and 5th Chaos Emeralds, or create more crystals, I don't know. But oh no, the law. You can't be cooking meth in our desert. We might blow up locks with explosives, but we do not cook meth. So this looks like a drop of blood. So the law probably comes along, and they just, they might still have street justice out there as their main form of law. So they might just beat him until he bleeds, thinking that will teach him a lesson. And they leave him out in the desert to dry. Because you don't have to kill somebody to kill them. You could just leave them out in the desert and they expire slowly. So he's drained, and he's feeling pretty screwed. So, I mean, I would too after having that day. If I got attacked, if the law decided that I would bleed to death in the desert, I would be pretty drained and screwed too. But apparently this guy gets out, uses a scrub to recharge his batteries. Maybe he is it's the power of hygiene. It's once you mop yourself up, you feel better. Once you feel better, you perform better, and then you just feel more awake and more alert. And then we have it looks like a professional black guy. So maybe now that he's feeling better, he goes and does a business transaction, as you might imagine, because we now have 3 stacks of cash. So he's in the money now. We're doing pretty good. But it's time to get injected. What's he getting injected with? I don't know. But whatever it is, it makes him sick. So I think maybe he went to a bad doctor, paid him a lot of money, and was injected with something that he fundamentally had a problem with. I think that's what's going on here. So then he goes on a jet, maybe 2 jets. So he flies somewhere and back. Or maybe it's a connecting flight. I don't know. But I think he's going somewhere and back because this would indicate that he's home and he's having pizza. So we had bacon earlier, we're having pizza now, so we're having a good time. But this looks to me like he was attacked by an axe. So that's pretty rough. So he's going to the hospital to get his axe wounds tended to. And there, this might literally be chickens, or it might just be cock. I don't know. I mean, it's the 21st century. There's two cocks. There might be some sort of gay thing going on. I don't know. I'm not gonna judge. Or maybe he just went to a chicken farm. Like after he got out of the hospital, he went to the chicken farm for I don't know, maybe that's his front. Maybe his cooking operation is happening behind the chicken farm. We have here two scientists with test tube. It looks like a male and female scientist. So I don't know if maybe the meth is getting tested for impurities by, the Bureau of, I don't know, Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, maybe. I don't know what bureau is in charge of meth testing. Or maybe it's the Mexican government, because they're going to Mexico. That's what that flag is. They meet a wheelchair guy in Mexico, and there's a bell. Maybe they're ringing for service. Maybe he gets his bell rung, like he gets a concussion. I mean, this guy has already been bled out and made to puke and got attacked with an axe, so I'm going to say he got his bell rung by a wheelchair guy in Mexico. I mean, it happens to the best of us. So, is this the same guy? Yeah, that's the same guy from up here. So, that was the bad doctor who gave him the bad medicine, but now he gives him a bomb. So, we're getting serious now. And he salutes him like, "Yes, sir. I will take this bomb and do with it what you have commanded me." So he uses a magnet on a laptop to destroy it. So the laptop's dead. And now he's taken a train and a motorcycle. So he's going pretty far because, like I said, New Mexico is pretty sparse. He's probably taking the train out to one of the major cities, and then he has to take the motorcycle the rest of the way. And then that looks like a little kid. So there's a little kid, and the kid's like, "Oh no, spider, shoot it." Boom. And then a redhead woman is there. Maybe he shoots her. Maybe the spider shoots her. I don't know. The spider might handle guns. I know there's big spiders out there, so maybe the spider shoots the woman. I don't know. But anyway, we have 4 stacks of dollar bills. So maybe the spider was collecting a bounty on the woman. So that's why I like that idea. The spider knew that he would get paid by taking out the redhead chick, which is very sad. But, we live in a society, so why not? So now we have either a bald guy or a baby. So maybe the money, or maybe the woman gets all the money, the redhead, and then she goes on to conceive a baby. And when you give birth, apparently you poop a little bit, so maybe that's what the toilet's for. Or maybe someone just had to take a leak. I don't know. But then we're reading a book, and we're back in the desert. So he's probably reading the book on the toilet. So I imagine this is like the next scene. Like now we're back in the desert. Or maybe the book is a story about the desert. That could also be true. But in any case, we're in the desert. There's an oil drum out here. And a briefcase. So maybe there's like an oil deal going on out there. But, oh no, backstabbing or literal stabbing. I don't know. This could be a heartbreak, or it could be literally a heart that was stabbed in half by the knife. Either way, but maybe the redhead woman has something to do with all this, and she is heartbroken that her husband has gone all stabby on her. I mean, I'd be too. I'd be pretty upset if someone tried to stab me. I'd be upset about that. So now we have a newspaper. The stabbing is in the newspaper, and they say, if it bleeds, it leads. So I imagine this is probably what that's about. So after that, we get in the car. That's pretty much like a hard cut there. It's like, all right, we've told that story. Now we're getting in the car. We're going somewhere where there's a snowman. So we're presumably up in the mountains. Or maybe we're up north, but I think we're probably still in the area, just up higher elevation. There's an abandoned house. Somebody is smoking. And, we're going to a show. Nice. All right. That's cool. Now, this could be a father and daughter, but it also could be a man taking his woman from behind. I don't know. It's one of the other. And the story, of course, goes in two very different directions, depending on which one it is. But now they're just standing together. So it's like, yay, we did it. And maybe they're shooting a porno or something, because they got paid real well for that. I don't think we've ever had $5 signs in a row. So I imagine, it's really good. Oh, looking ahead, we have the 6th Chaos Emerald. So we're doing that. And there's chains. Someone could be chained up in a dungeon. Maybe there's some bondage going on. Maybe it's 2 Chainz, the rapper. So many different ways. But I think what happened was the two of them made so much money, they decided to splurge on some new S&M gear. And once they'd done all that, they played Sonic and Knuckles. They got the 6th Emerald. They only needed one more to unlock Supersonic, Hypersonic even. So that's pretty good. So we have 2 men with a gun. They look similar, but they're different. So I'm going to say they're brothers or something. One probably shoots the other. Drives away in a pickup truck. I think that's what that's supposed to be. So that's very sad. Maybe he was jealous about him getting all the Chaos Emeralds, and because he has never beaten the game himself, and he's like, no, I'll be damned if you beat it before me, so bang, you're dead. So he drives away in the pickup truck, and then there's 3 police cars. We're getting serious now about the law enforcement. So people are getting arrested, and the hand, we're doing the Italian thing. So basically, there is an Italian bystander just reflecting on the tragedy of all that happened, And then death. The main character dies. And the Italian man was like, he was such a good man. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the story of Breaking Bad, told in emojis, by somebody who has never seen Breaking Bad. I hope you enjoyed this. And tell me if you disagree, or you would have told the story in a different way. I'll see you later.